Hello people, it's Dodie, and here we are with our little Horsman doll again. And she looks like an alien again. I was cleaning her and getting ready to oil her, and all of a sudden I noticed something very strange. Look here. Do you see the little white piece on her lip? Now, I don't ordinarily clean with alcohol, but I did this time. And what is peculiar about our baby now is that her paint came off. Now, alcohol will not take off oil paint like she's supposed to have, but it will take off acrylics. One thing to remember when you're cleaning dolls is that acrylics will definitely come off if you use alcohol as a cleaning product. You need to use peroxide or a wipe, and that's when you'll find out what type of paint you've got, because like I said, oil will not come off with alcohol. So you notice something odd here. Every bit of her lip color is gone, and there's this little white spot right here. Now what we're going to do, and I also noticed up in here, you can see just barely a little hole. So somebody expertly, I may add, altered this doll probably to get a new life on it. So what we're going to, when I thought about it, I looked up here, and that's not exactly a toddler hairline. So what we're going to do is actually take off her wig, because as I was cleaning, I noticed there's staples. Horsman did not use, can you see the staple? Whoops. Right there. Let me take it out and I'll show you. So somebody's already redone this doll. Well, it's in there pretty good. Ah, there it is. A plain staple. Now, Horsman did not ever staple their wigs to their dolls. So, that's the first thing we're going to do, and actually find out what kind of a doll we do have. So, here we go. Ah, another staple. I can feel it. I thought perhaps that somebody, her wig had been turned around because of wear, but that doesn't seem to be the case. I think somebody oh, pooh. Come on. Somebody just decided to try to redo the doll in an effort to sell it. Because we saw, yep, there we go. The only place it looks like she's been, get the staples off the other side. Now, if you're going to take one of these little wigs off, you do have to be careful if you're going to reuse it. And yes, they can be reused. because these are brittle, because they're made for dolls. They're not a people item. People wigs are made differently. There now. Let's see what we've got here. My goodness, she was stapled in the back too. She had a little dab of glue right in the front. As you can see, just a little bit. And otherwise, this, people, is not a toddler doll. It's a baby. And she's been repainted. You can tell back here where she's had blonde hair and her curl pattern, and then you can see some repaint. And it looks, yeah, sure does. It looks like they've used plastics. To just cover over the fine details. Well, that's interesting. Let's see. What is under that little hunk of white? Because it's brittle. Look at that. Alcohol makes plastics brittle. Hang on a little minute and let me get... There we go. Get my knives out. Let's pick that off. My goodness. Well, friends and neighbors, it looks like my original thought was a bad one. This isn't original paint. Paint this old doesn't have that sound. I hope it's coming through. So this never would have gone down because it's not oil paint. Which is kind of a shame because it was a pretty paint job. Let's get that little bit. Whoops. I'm sorry, people. Didn't mean for you not to be able to see it. Apparently she had been cleaned and repainted. Repainted beautifully. But that's one thing about acrylic paint, is that it won't hold forever to wood. It will lift. I've had other things lift before. And a sure sign is that when the paint is this thin on this quality of doll, it was meant to be used for a resale. And frankly, that's dishonest. You saw the price tag we had on it. Clothes are absolutely great. But somebody was trying to pass this off as an antique doll. That was original, and it's not. Especially not with there we go. Especially not with staples in her hair. Yeah, this is a baby. And I shouldn't wonder if we don't find some other details in here. Now here's something you need to look at. You see, there's no crazing. On a doll from the 30s, you would have some crazing if it were oil paint, because it would have chipped out. So, this is all the more reason to be careful about what you get and what type of price you pay. Because you want people to be honest with you, and unfortunately the antiques market can be a minefield. So that's what I have for you. She had been repainted, and all the work I was doing with the oil wasn't going to make any difference. So we have to peel her back. See? You can even tell on the top of her head that they just painted over. Such a shame. But she's going to be gorgeous when we get her done again. So if that's the case, let's go ahead and take the wire out. See the little wire up in there? This was before they had zip ties, and it was wire. And looks like they didn't use a very good one either. There. Yep. I'll do another video on this in a little while to show you exactly what is inside and how the eyes are set in there. But she's been repainted, and I'll be honest about it, I think she looks better right now than she did before, because that little face is actually a little face. Yeah. Well, people, remember to do all the stuffs, and we will talk at you later. Bye-bye.